Wonder how long it's gonna be. I wonder what they're gonna have us do. This, I mean, I'm excited, but it seems like it's gonna be kind of wild. Maybe I should really quick. Really quick, I'm gonna take our helmet off. Of course, like, now is the time that I would probably have the helmet on for all of this, but considering how epic the cutscenes may or may not be, I think it's kind of important that we get that helmet off so we can see Valka's beautiful face. We gotta wrap it up. Last thing we need to see is her beautiful Viera visage before we get into Endwalker. Okay. Again, anytime that I'm like, culmination of 10-year story arc, there's just like a little tiny dagger of emotion that stabs me directly in the heart. It's just gonna be how it's gonna be. Looks good. Looks like we're filming. Okie dokie. Here we go. Upon joining the battle at Cartino, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Recommended that you set aside sufficient time. I don't know, everybody. You think we got sufficient time? Your progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. Oh my god, how long is this duty instance? In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again for the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Okay. I mean, I guess let's do it. Is this gonna be like a 30-minute duty instance where they're like, oh, okay, everybody. Heads up. It's gonna be a little bit until Endwalker, so let's make a duty instance, but I want you to make it like an hour long. Oh, the Warfront's so good. Look at everybody. Look at all our babies. Look at everybody. Oh, friendos. It's the big final push. White Hair Club, reassemble. Hey, everybody. So glad we're here for our monthly meeting. Graha, get out. You're not welcome. We do love you, though.
My fellow Scions, as I am sure you will have heard, we can expect no help from Charlian, nor are we any closer to discerning the Telophoroid's grand design.
We know nothing about anything and nobody else will help us. So, yeah, it's a bummer, I know.
And
sorry
now,
to start on that note.
Our adversary moves against us in unprecedented numbers, compelling us to answer in kind. The outlook, in short, is bleak. Yet though our foes are many, and we but few, we may still tip the balance in Eorzea's favor.
That's right, we will.
Of course. We will do what we always do. Deal with the ones our allies can't.
Power Squad!
A less than daunting prospect, judging by your expression. Could it be that you've dispelled your lingering doubts, Alphino?
He has new resolution and purpose. And a very cute little good boy smile. He's still carrying the weight of the world on those sad little skinny shoulders. But that's okay, we got him.
I doubt I ever will. But as my friends have kindly reminded me, I have come this far, and that must count for something.
I didn't expect to get really overwhelmed by that line. But here we are. I just, like, I get if people don't love Alphino, and I even get if you get to this point and you're still, like, on him, you know? But I feel like I should take a second just to say, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that this might resonate with too, you know? Being somebody who is doubtful of oneself or of the things you've done in the world, I have really bad anxiety personally, you know? And that's something where I didn't even realize how it was affecting me for so many years until I suddenly started like seeing and reading and hearing more about what it meant to have anxiety, right? And realized that it was playing a role in my life. But to like have this line, I really like how they've developed his character. And I like seeing a character that is one of your titular heroes, but that isn't always confident, isn't always sure, and says, I do have a lot of doubts and a lot of anxieties. I do question myself. I do wonder. I do nitpick at this. I do write small essays on all of my failures, even just in my head. And I doubt I'll ever be rid of that. But, as my friends have kindly reminded me, I've come this far, and that must count for something. It's a really, really good line, right? Oh, it just is really good. It's just so good though. And I think we all have to remember that, whether it's just cheering yourself on, separating yourself from those worries, or it's, you know, listening to the things that people say. One of my favorite anime lines, and it's funny because although this is a really great anime, it's not my favorite anime of all time, but it is a really good one, is from Gurren Lagann, "Believe in the me that believes in you." And sorry, I have now written a small personal essay, but I just think this is a really lovely little moment, and I really think that it brings, and this patch has brought Alphino together in a way, the like 0.5 cycle I think has brought Alphino together in a way that to me makes those stumbling points that he had, those pitfalls, those things that I think we all berate ourselves for, even if we won't admit it, I think it's really made that what makes him a hero. And I think it's important for us to remember that we can be too, even if we carry doubts or worries, or we don't always totally know our self-worth. I just love that. And the idea of like depending on others and the people that you care about and reaching out and, you know, reevaluating yourself and doing the work on your own perspective and mental health, and like, it's just all very good. It's just so very good, okay? I'm done. But that might be one of my favorite lines from 0.5. I really, really, this one, thank you, love it. Very good. Yeah, everybody else loves it too.
Godspeed good, Alphino. That's what we've been trying to tell you all along.
I know, but sometimes it takes a while to go through anxiety brain.
For one so bright, you can be remarkably dim at times. There is such a thing as overthinking.
Well, Stidian, I love you. You're not helping very much in this moment, but I know it's coming from a good place.
Might I suggest that we continue this conversation after the battle? It would appear that Telophoroi have already arrived.
Graha's like, I'll bring the ice cream later and we can all cuddle on the couch, but right now we gotta fight. We gotta kick some
I'll do what I
butts.
can to cure the tempered, but they'll have to be incapacitated first.
Have care, my friends, for none can say wherefore our foe did choose this fateful field to be our battleground. Whatever may transpire, pray grant him not the pleasure of deterring you.
This has to also just be so daunting for all of them, or bring up memories, right? Because Cartano was such a huge thing. It's a huge thing that left so many scars in the land and in people's hearts. To be back here again, all of them, having, you know, witnessed Louis Sua's confrontation and the downfall. It's the literal downfall, because Bahamut done did downfall from the moon. Okay, so what are we gonna do for this battle? Okay, me. Listen well, friends. The Telophoroi are sweeping across Cartano. As for the Ascian, he was briefly sighted above the battlefield, but has since vanished. Thus far, the movements of the lunar primals have proven difficult to predict, even when poised. Oh god, they're going so fast! You guys gotta calm down! We're going back to Merlveeb. I'm just gonna read from the log. Okay, everybody, here we go. Merlveeb. As for the Ascian, he was briefly sighted above the battlefield, but has since vanished. He likely intends to watch events unfold from afar. Hien. Thus far, the movements of the lunar primals, the lunar primals have proven to be difficult to predict. They're really tossing me in it. Some of us are trying to do fully voiced playthroughs right here. Okay, Rauban jumps in to say, whatever the Telophoroi's plan may be, the primals are our primary target. And then Alphino says, understood. They will not elude the Scions for long. We cannot allow ourselves to be stalled here. Okay, we're caught up. We did it. Oh, there's a lot of friends. I gotta watch their health pools. Their health pool going down real fast. I'm so glad they retooled some of the stuff, though, with duties, where you can actually, like, heal people for enough to make it worth it at this point. I've always been one of those healers that's over here just, like, healing NPCs in any game I play. If I'm gonna immerse myself in that healing fantasy, I'm going all the way. I'm gonna be the healer of Eorzea. Thancred's tanking! The This is so good. Oriache, you and me will hang out over here. Got our black mage in the back. Very good, very good. Alisaie's all up in their business. It's cute to see everybody. Let's get moving. This way. Okay, where we go? But where we go, though? Speak with Alisaie. Okay. This is neat. This is huge. Did they repurpose one of the... It seems like they repurposed one of the PvP maps for this. Okay, Graha just over here tanking, summoning shields and swords of light? Come on! Okay, we're following along that. Speak with Alisaie was just how we initiated this one. That's a little bit of my Guild Wars 2 showing through. If you're in an instance in Guild Wars 2, it'll update the objectives for you if you, like, look over at it. Sorry, Final Fantasy 14. God, these cutscenes are so good. It's nice to actually feel like we are in the fray. We are in the What? Are we playing D&D now? As the scions spread out across the field, Alisaie and Graha take the fight to the Telophoroi. Now I'm the DM. Oh my gosh, this is so cool! What is this? When are they gonna release this as like an actual set that you can buy? I would buy that map. I would buy minis of all the characters. I mean, we already, in Aetheryte Radio, we do a D&D. We do first edition, which is our D&D like mini campaign that we're doing that's set on the 1st. Okay, limes. There are so many of them. I won't be curing anyone at this rate. We'll have to incapacitate them first. Okay, here we go. Time to brush off my my mini red mage abilities here. Okay, Scorch combo. I don't have a meter for her. Okay, I guess I'm just a swinging my sword. It's kind of hard it's kind of hard to know what to do with these buttons on red mage, just because there is such a like back and forth of the rotation. I'm guessing we're gonna put this out. Okay, all right. I see how they've done this.
Allow me.
This one we actually want to be in proximity for. It's been so long since I played red mage. But this lets us do the like proc casts, right? So, and then usually you use these off cooldown, so let's do it. So we probably want... We'll come in, why not? Let's do it. We'll come in. We'll do our little melee combo, and then we'll run our butts out. And then we'll polish it off. We must see that their suffering is not prolonged. With this degree of physical alteration. Oh, I see. Hold on, we're going back. Alisaie says, I got two into the red mage gameplay, everybody. Alright, Alisaie. Their tempering has gone too far to treat them here on the battlefield. Graha, with this degree of physical alteration, I fear they are beyond help. Imperials are no. I hate to see them in such pain. We must see that their suffering is not prolonged.
Just the beginning.
Right behind you. It's hard to multitask and also read the lines, so thank you everybody for bearing with me as I tried to push a button and read the English all at once. Oh yeah, you know what I just did? And then we scoot out. Alright, I'm getting the hang of it now. Fortunately, my poor health pool. Oh, I got it! I have Vercure! I was just about to say, do I have Vercure? I do! Oh, and I've got a meteor for poor Graha to get away from as fast as possible. And then myself probably in the next second. Whoa, 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 whoa! Graha needs some heals! At least there's one thing where we really need to use our healing abilities as a red mage. That's good, at least. It seems we've earned a moment's respite. Then let us take this opportunity to cure the tempered. Oh, he just swapped classes! He just... I don't think we've ever seen an NPC. I don't think we've ever seen an NPC swap classes, like, in a piece of combat. Oh my gosh, let's talk about some lore that proves that you can just class swap in the game outside of just the Warrior of Light. That's interesting. I do really like what they've been doing with Graha. We can help these ones, but some of them were too far gone. The poor Vanu. My bird Fanny Pack, stop hovering menacingly. You get your sorry butt and your handy means of storing goods on the go right down here immediately. Graha's like, Alice? Do you see that? The glyphs? Yes. How worried should we be? Now those are interesting. We know that glyphs and magical inscriptions are definitely something that exists, kind of runes and stuff like that. Listen well and judge for yourself. Though I can see ethereal currents, I had not thoroughly examined those that flow through the heart of Cartano. But now that I am here, things have become clear. The flats conceal an etheric confluence, like to the pillars of the Azim's step, but greater in scale. Far greater. The glyphs that Fandaniel has conjured reach into its very midst, and I believe I know their purpose. Should the lunar primals destroy them, it would spark a chain reaction with the potential to obliterate the confluence entirely. The resultant disruption of the flow of aether would sow chaos among the elements, prompting earthquakes, floods, and tempests large enough to lay waste to the realm. That he would go so far cometh as little surprise. We must needs protect the confluence at all costs. The trio! It's fun too because those three also, I think, are like some of the crew that have been together the longest, right? At least kind of as like a unit. Oh, and now we're playing as them. This is so good! It's Odin! This is where they put Odin? Oh my gosh! Okay, alright, Thancred. Is that Odin? So the time has come to pit my blade against his. Follow my lead. But I'm playing as Oriange? In the coming battle, you will fight as Oriange. Oh my gosh, I just want to scream for like a million years. This is such a cool way to do it. I do really wish, though, that this had all been voiced. I mean, I'm glad that I get to voice it, right? Even though it's a little bit chaotic trying, especially when we get into these like little instances and I'm trying to fight and they don't give me a second to read. It is tough. But at the same time, this feels like this is our very last thing. This would have been so cool to have it voiced. This is such a neat idea. I love the way that they've structured this. Lisa's over there, what? It's interesting how they've also kind of relegated Lisa. I mean, she's doing her own thing now in regards to like Stormblood and Alamigo, but they have seemed to kind of purposefully distance her from the Scions, you know, in the past like couple expansions, which is pretty, that's an interesting choice. Maybe they felt like because she was so featured in Stormblood that they didn't, you know, really need to, I'm not sure. Okay, so they're gonna mess with the confluence while we do other stuff. Okay, well Thancred, are you gonna maybe, I don't know, tank him? Thancred, you can maybe tank this boy? Thank you. Oh man, they're making me brush off my Astrologian now too, and I've just been thinking as well that maybe it was time for me to get back into Ast. I'm curious though, because they could completely overhaul it again leading into the next expansion. I think it's more likely we'll see something done with Scholar and Summoner specifically, but I don't know for sure. So what do they do with this? Destiny Draw and leave everything to Fate to draw a card from your Divining deck. Okay, so they're just gonna let me draw a spontaneous one here.
I shall protect thee.
It's also interesting because the way that a lot of these play just like isn't quite the same. Unattained damage to the potency. To draw a card. Oh, interesting. So they're not having me actually buff our companions. They're having me instead just like use them as damage, essentially.
May the 12 guide
Interesting.
you.
What? Did he Stola? Oh, he Stola died! No! Okay, we gotta come back in. I'm so sorry, Stola. I'm so sorry. That was totally my bad, girl. I was not paying attention. It's like, do I even main healer? It's different though when you can't see your party list and you're still trying to figure out like a mini bar of activities, you know? How have they condensed this class into some sort of like tiny little What? I thought there were supposed to be checkpoints. What in the world? Oh, resume from midway? Oh, that's weird. I mean, I guess this is the interface that they have for duties, but you'd think that it would just ask you, like, in the instance without instancing you out, whether or not you want to continue from, like, this point or that point, you know? Like, it's kind of weird that they would just boot you and then make you, like, have to re-instance in at a checkpoint. Hold on. It looks like it's like taking me out of the like these are each separate duty instances that are chained together. Interesting. It's like popping me back into Gridania and then here. It must be. They must each be their own instance. Huh. Okay. All right, we're gonna watch everybody more like a hawk this time around. Ah, and then this lets us buff people. Oh, but can I target them to actually buff them, or is it just gonna do stuff for me? Oh, it just does stuff for me. Okay, alright. Interesting. I wonder if there's anything in these abilities. I don't think so. But it would be really interesting if there was something in these abilities that, like, gave us a sneak peek at what Astrologian might have coming up or might be about, you know? With the, like, reworks if they do any. Fixed center on the cast, reducing damage taken, healing over time. Okay, interesting. Y'shtola comes over to this side.
My turn!
Keep an eye on both of them. Oh, you know what? I think that she gets hit by these in rapid succession. And then if you're not careful, it'll overlap on her. Because she's a black mage, she just won't move. Which is, I'm not gonna lie, pretty accurate. So you gotta give them props for the, I think, the authenticity of the experience here. This does not bode well. We'd best brace ourselves. Duty failed how? Everybody was still alive. Is it like a timer to take down the thing in the middle? I'm not sure what's happening here. Like, should I not even be maybe I shouldn't even be attacking Odin. Could you target the thing in the middle though? Because when I tried clicking on it at the start, It did not seem like it would let me interact with it. Okay, hold up a minute. I gotta break down what's happening in this one because I am apparently doing everything wrong. Apparently it's all gone. Great googly moogly, it's all gone to shit. I need to figure out what this duty wants from me. I thought it wanted me to take down Odin because he's the big bad that's standing there, and in my mind I was like, that's gotta be it. But I think maybe at some point that, like, confluence, it must have been targetable, and I just wasn't actually, it must have been. I just wasn't actually burning it. Okay. Alright, alright. Let me just try hitting it. Invalid target. Maybe it switches to being a valid target when you start the fight, or like after a certain phase? What in the world killed us? I don't understand. Confluence is now targetable? No, I still can't attack it. Huh. It must have something, I mean, she seems to be the one that's going for it, right? So it must have something to do. It must have something to do with, Ishtola. Like, you have to help Ishtola take it down somehow. Because I still can't target it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but let's see. Maybe we just didn't burn him fast enough as well. Like, maybe there's some sort of secret enrage in this, which would be an interesting choice, if I'm gonna be honest.
My turn!
May the 12 guide you.
Sorry, but I'm deep in Focus Town right now. Trying to make sure that we aren't, like, missing something important here. Okay, and you can randomly pick either side. That's kind of fun if you repeat it for whatever reason. Okay, so what caused the problem last time? Maybe somebody was just, like, low enough health that they got clobbered by something? I don't know. I'm sure I'll look through the footage later and be like, oh, it was very obvious what happened and I just didn't pay attention. Like, that's very possible. Oh. He's got fetters.
Away with you!
Well, we're trying to save him. Okay, okay, okay.
The best defense is a good defense!
Shiny. There we go. And we are now at halfway. All right. Odin is preparing to strike again. Stay out of his reach, but guarding the confluence must come first. Alright, here we go again with this. I think maybe they want, like, us to go to the far side kind of deal so that you don't end up kind of dragging things across. It's okay if I'm just very proactive about healing, but... The music, though, is very good. He yet stands, a glutton for punishment, it would seem. Thancred, in which case I'd be glad to oblige him. Thancred, I didn't know you... I mean, look, to each their own. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. We're learning so much about each other on this friendship bonding journey that we're taking. in the 3 times we've done this. I feel like each time it just brings us a little bit closer. You know what I mean? Bye-bye, Lunar Odin. I do like the fun purple effects, though. It's very good. Anytime you just slap some, like, neon effects onto an already existing enemy, it makes them seem that much more intense. This is just so cool. Who made this decision? Where can I get a figurine of Valka like this? Meanwhile, Grahatia and Alice do something. I was too busy nerding about D&D. I'm guessing it has to do with facing Ravana. Defeat Lunar Ravana and defend the ethereal confluence. They're doing the same thing on the other side. This is like Newbie Squad. And now we play as Graha. Oh, this is so fun. That must be Ravana, a formidable opponent by all accounts, but so are we. That's right, we are, girl. That's right, we are. Okay, here we go. Oh man, I don't remember. Now he playing Black Mage? I don't do fire till run out, then do an ice. I am Black Mage tank! And wait, he is black magic and white magic? Alright, well now I feel justified in another character that I have. Now my role player heart feels justified. Granted, I guess he's lived several lifetimes, so him having like multiple skills actually does make a lot of sense, or like multiple jobs that he does. Break is interesting as well. This is something that I've wondered about him since we saw some of those 5.3 abilities. He seems to have various things that are almost more, okay, yeah. I think what we needed to do was we needed to burn the Moonganas, if it's similar to his original fight. I was wondering that as we went through it, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna focus them in order. The answer is that was not the way to do it. I've been wondering though, since we saw some of the stuff that he can do with the tower and the abilities, if they were going to work something in with Graha, where if we got like a new caster, it would be something like Time Mage, and it would have some kind of connection to the like magic that he can wield with the Crystal Tower and some of the things that we witnessed as you're like, you know, pushing through it in 5.3. It would be cool. Please take me back to the spot of my shame. Please take me back to the I did a whoopsie point. And he did. Next one. Oh, we'll get to see the actual text on this, since I won't be jabbering, in theory. I always could, though. I like this. I really like the way that they're doing this. It feels like it could have maybe been a little bit more fluid with these resets, where, again, it wasn't, like, instancing you out, instancing you back in. But it's still really neat to get to, like, play this from so many different angles. I like that. I like that. Okay, so, but what I was saying about the time magic stuff is that Break actually is really fascinating. Prevents spell casting, movement, and other activity of all nearby enemies. Maybe we need to use that during the ad phase to like stall some of them? I honestly don't know, but that's a super interesting spell. It could be that we see that come in with some class or rework of a class or like additional abilities with a class. Okay, so let's see. Each of these seems to have a Moongana, so I'm gonna try and do Break here. Whoa, it has a huge radius! What? Oh, use Break to defend against the Spirit Gana. They do tell you to do that, huh? That's really cool. I like that. It's a neat ability. Look at it! I love it! That feels very Time Magey to me. Oh, I hope Alice has enough healing! I hope you're not gonna die! Okay, she's good, she's good, she's good. That was a little close for comfort, but now's our chance. I think he had his no-no shields up. I feel like I'm... He does, for sure. No! 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 There's a lot to kind of, like, parse within all of this. Just trying to, like, figure out what the gist is of the like, class. I even have my Amaro mount, and I'm like, how have they done this? Like, what do they want from that? Okay, oh, oops, there's an ability I haven't even used yet. Still, it's a fun way to kind of give you a big finale moment. I just noticed too that around the edges of the arena you can even see some of the forces still like repeating for the glory of Garlemald, which is really interesting. Oh, he just had another one pop up. Yeah, okay. I wonder if you can use break on him there to like stop him from doing the stomper stuff. Break as an interrupt would be interesting. We need to get some mana back! Okay. Back to this again. Ravana's will. Huh. Stop him with break. Okay. Oh, cool. This feels a little bit like Lakshmi when we were sort of dealing with the different orbs. Boy, there's a lot of them, huh? We're good? Are we good? Woo, we're good, we're good, we're good! We did it! I'm just like so into each of these. I realize as I go through, I'm like, I don't even think I've said anything for like 15 seconds. I'm just trying real hard not to get us all killed. And back out. Okay, that one's down. Another enemy defeated. At the selfsame moment, you stand shoulder to shoulder with Alphino and Estinian, resolved to lay Lunar Ifrit low. It's just so good. It's so good. 1,000,000 points to whoever thought up this way of doing this, like the storytelling kind of convention that they're using for it, because it's so neat. I am really, really loving it. Lunar Ifrit, the one Arenvald and Fordola encountered. Oh, very, very good that on this. Very poetic for this. And the first primal we ever fought in a game. I love it, the symmetry. This one is not to be taken lightly. Be on your guard. Maybe. I guess there's no tank, so I guess it's me. You know what? I'll turn him away from the party so he doesn't cleave in theory. I think we should be okay to stop. I thought it was gonna move so that we could, like, there'd be a little sliver at the edge. We're okay though, that didn't kill me. It should have. The overlap did a big, big bad there. Okay, nails time. It's neat too that they bring back a little bit of a callback to like each of them and their mechanics. Estinian, whatever those are, they bodil for us.
You're finished!
Smash them to pieces before it's too late. Alphino, I do not like the look of that. Leave this one to me. Hellfire cast. Ah! La 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 la. The first time this ever played in game, I was losing it. It's so good. And you kind of forget because it's so easy at this point if you get cued into it, you know? It's easy to forget almost that feeling when you first realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm actually encountering a primal for the first time in Final Fantasy XIV, especially if you are somebody that's played the Final Fantasy games. It's just so exciting. Okay, so what do we got with this? Well, there he ran out to that edge. These ones seem to go faster than they did the first time. Nobody's taking any damage. Ooh, I like that kind of like fiery orb circle. That was neat. There's the cleave! It feels almost iconic at this point. Okay. Infernal nails again. So let's go ahead. More of them! Our foe seeks to destroy the confluence, and us along with it. So, let's come to this. What? 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 Okay, that was very cool. Holy butts! Holy butts and holy! Estinian. Not what I was expecting. Like he's still figuring out how to speed dial Nidhogg's soul inside of him, you know? As long as I draw breath, I won't give in. You get like a little bit of a additional thing with him and his resilience there. That's so good. Estinian. It's time we ended this. We ended it! Perfect timing, everybody. Really proud. Great job, everyone. We had a few stumbling blocks. There were a few issues. I had to figure out some of the mechanics and how the classes have been condensed, but here we are. We made it. We fought. Are we gonna like do another round of them? I mean, that felt like a pretty meaty, that's a pretty big duty instance. I wouldn't be surprised if we just have like finishing cutscenes now. I don't know though. Good job, team. Proud of you. Let's go. Yeah, this is definitely one of the PvP maps. Isn't this the one where you like all go and you like little things pop up in the middle center and you fight them? Oh my god, I almost forgot that fanny pack exists.
Another plan went up in smoke. I am beginning to see why Lord Xenos thinks so highly of you.
Can I take a second? In our house, we have 2 cats. And I can always hear when they're up to nonsense. It's like I've developed just an additional sense to register it now. I'll hear the faintest whisper of like plastic crinkling in the distance. And I'm like, no, no, what are you doing? The same thing happens now whenever I hear, dum ba ba. I just immediately inside go, Fandaniel, no, no. You get down from there. Like, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is becoming a conditioned response in me.
Not that this changes anything, you understand. You have merely earned yourself a stay of execution.
I just hate his stupid voice and his dumb face and everything about him. I'm not sold on Fandaniel yet. I'm just, you know, I'm just not sold yet. How's everybody doing? You all okay? They don't look so okay, huh? Looks like it's been a very bad and very brutal fight. Is the Hagen? Oh. He doing a heal. Good job. He's already starting to step into that role. Is this guy dead? No, he's still moving. Okay. Thought we were gonna find Alphino just like trying to heal a dead corpse and have to be like, buddy, you can't.
Glory be to the Garlemore.
He was trying, I see, he was trying to break the tempering and keep him from dying. Oh, this feels like it has a little bit of integration.
How fair the
because of
tempered.
the trailers and things too.
We've treated as many as we can, but some were beyond help.
All the different leaders, Murphy. He's got a nice corset. I just noticed. That's how he gets his trim waist. Well, at least there appear to be survivors.
Do not hang your head so, brave scions. Though not all of our captured brethren could be saved, we are grateful for those whose minds have been restored.
I'm gonna pause for a second because we got a siren going by. So we're just gonna pause and let it do its thing real quick.
You could do no more, and that is enough. So please hold your heads high.
Oh, oh. And the music is a stand tall, my friend.
Should have been quicker, but I'll do better next time.
I started singing it and I done played myself because it immediately made me start crying again.
Thank you for your kind words. They mean a lot.
It's just so nice to see everybody coming together. Maybe he's realizing
a victory
that
at great cost, but a victory nonetheless.
others share the same doubts as he does, that he doesn't have to be alone in having them, you know? You did it, you won!
We must stay strong and press on. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Oh. It's like, I kind of want to go with, well, you've come this far to stick with the theme that we were already talking about, you know, like, well, we've already, you know, done everything so far, right? But to the very end also just feels very dramatic and a bit of foreshadowing for Endwalker, you know, like Valka could tack on some sort of pun there at the end. I think I'm gonna go to the very end. Oh, but it's tough, but I think that's what I'm gonna go for. To the very end.
To the very end.
The moon! Right now? The moon's happening right now? The music. One brings the light. My God. Oh my gosh! That's it! Shadowbringers! Shadowbringers! Oh my god, I'm such a wreck! Shadowbringers is over! Shadowbreakers broke my soul! But Shadowbringers did too, I guess. Oh my god. Can you believe, can you believe that we're here? That this game, when it was released, people thought, and I mean rightfully so, that it was going to be a failure, that it was going to be a dead game, that it was going to be something that couldn't be saved. And to see what this team has done, this community has done, this player base, it's just humbling to be a part of it. I think for all of us to be a part of this story, this narrative, these characters, Shadowbringers is over. It's really done. It's really over. The credits are rolling. The character artwork is going for an expansion that in so many ways I think just showcased what the power of storytelling can encompass, even in MMOs, even in a genre that oftentimes is considered to not always lean into that RPG side of the MMORPG. To have this story that's crafted with so much care, so much love, that has this incredible team. Oh my god, look at each show, look at my girl, that artwork's amazing! Like, to have this team that is creating something from the music to every design element that's then being handed over via the community teams and the launching of the game to the players, and the players are picking it up and are giving it this life that's all its own with their creativity and their passion and their excitement and their feedback. Hey, I have that one on a standee! It's just... it reminds you so much that, just like the themes of Shadowbringers, we don't walk alone, you know? We all forge these journeys together, and we get to take them together. And especially in a year with a pandemic and there's so many reminders of the divisions that still linger in our world, to have something that says, like, we have to reach out, and we have to bridge gaps, and we have to be empathetic and understanding, and we have to build a future together, not tear down the present. It's amazing. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, everybody. Oh, they're busting this one out now. My friend, may all the darkness inside you find light again. Sorry, everybody. I'm a mess. Oh, I'm also maybe a Disney princess. I can't help. I hear singing. It's a song that matters to me. I sing with it. I went to music school. That's my excuse. I went to music school. I can't resist the music. Oh boy. I know I can just skip the credits, but I gotta be real. I'm too busy snotting on myself and singing snippets of songs through my tears. I feel like that's really been the summary of Shadowbringers for me. I just, what an expansion. I mean, I would love to hear everybody's most memorable moments, whether it's here, whether it's in the comments, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's Discord, wherever it is. I would love to connect. I'd love to reach out and bridge that gap and just hear what everybody thinks and thought of Shadowbringers. What stood out to you? What were the themes that resonated with you? What an expansion. What an expansion.
A prayer to keep us ever by your side, an undying promise that we just might carry on in a song. Pray don't forget us, your bygone kin. If one world's end as a new
will just be gone for a second. I'm gonna tear out my own heart so I don't have to feel anymore, and then I'm gonna step on it a little bit. So I'll be back with everybody. No, I'm kidding. But also I might have to do that because this game is killing me. My friend, may all the darkness inside you find light again. Who needs lyrics? We don't need it when we're going. We only have feelings. We let them just carry us through the song that we can't remember the lyrics to because we're too emotional. I woke my cat up with all of my feelings is what's happening right now. Okay, all right. You know what? Good. Put this music in because I won't have feelings about this music. You know, we have a new editor, Synth, who has stepped in to edit our videos. And by the time this video makes it to you, I don't know exactly when that will be. But there was a big gap in filming while we were getting things set up with our new editor, and I knew what had happened. I kind of, you know, I had like a basic gist, although there were a lot of things that were still total surprises for me in this run through because I very, very, very much tried to keep myself from getting spoiled too much with the story. But by the time this hits you, you'll probably have already taken your own journey. You'll probably have already done this ages ago. And Synth, I'll leave it to you how much of me crying and singing and giving TED Talks you want to put in here at the end of this video. Or, you know, just leave it all raw and uncut. That's fine too. I don't mind sharing the big feelings I have. We're not afraid of feelings here. But the thing is that sometimes you just gotta have the feelings and you gotta sing the theme songs as loud as you can in your apartment building so that everybody knows that right now you're having a landmark moment in your life. And you just finished Shadowbringers, the most recent expansion from the award-winning Final Fantasy XIV that has a free trial up to level 60. Okay, we're gonna skip the rest here because I think we're through the true emotional journey. Although I'm sure there's more, there's gotta be a little teaser. But, gosh, I hope that this expansion, something about it resonated with you. And there will always be certain expansions that I think are everybody's favorites. But I think that this one, although when I look back on Shadowbringers now, there's a lot of stuff as I'm like powering through it on alts and things, right? There's a lot of stuff in maybe like the first 3/4 of the game, and maybe first half, that isn't the most thrilling, right? It's like, oh, we're kind of setting things up, we're learning about the world, but even so, the more I go through this game and I replay it, the more that I see how they crafted things, the more that I see even in those quiet moments, the care and attention to detail. And I mean, of course, the game evolves, the story evolves, lore changes and shifts in small ways to accommodate the vision and scope of the game. There are things that are like that, but overall, the unity and cohesion of vision and the execution of it in this game are just incredible. And I can tell you, did not expect Shadowbringers to become a game that's not only... Okay, alright, okay, get this white robe boy out of here. I just finished singing and crying. I don't need to do more of it. They already know I'm enough of a mess, Final Fantasy. But it's amazing because I didn't expect that this expansion to me would be something, and I think a lot of people felt this way, right? That it would be something that not only ended up becoming one of my favorite MMO expansions, but just one of my favorite games of all time, period. Single player games, narratives, stories, the journey and the growth that this game has taken is staggering. And the risks that were taken to bring us this story are amazing. And I'm just so excited to keep journeying with all of you. Warriors of Light, Warriors of Darkness, to wrap up 10 years. 10 years with everybody. And a chapter of our lives that we'll only ever get to experience for the first time once. You know, and whether you're new and coming into the game now or you're an old veteran player, I just hope you still feel some of that special energy. We'd love to welcome you in, you know? The more the merrier. We need a big adventuring party to tackle big challenges, you know? But I can't wait to face down Endwalker with all of you, to see this culmination and what they have in store for us and what the future holds, because we know this isn't where the game ends, right? Our journey will never end, but very much literally in this case with Final Fantasy XIV, because there will be more expansions and they've said as much, but gosh, I'm sure I'll have more coherent and logical feelings that aren't just a huge emotion ramble that's partly delivered in song. When we are parceling all of this in the next few weeks and months and years of my life, but I'm just glad I get to ramble with all of you. And I want to hear your rambles too. Shadowbringers was amazing, but let's see what we've got. What new stories are coming our way? Let's see what the teaser is. Let's see what we got, because there's usually a little something extra. Whew. Oh man, okay. I mean, we're all just here, but the whole squad's here, so... I will recommend that the Alliance keep a closer watch over Cartano. The Telophoroi may have failed in their attempt to destroy the confluence this time, but there is naught to stop them trying again. Hey, buddy. I mean, Grahati is the real gift. Emet-Sal Grahati, the real gifts of Shadowbringers, amidst many other things. Just the Amartines, the Ancients, every single reveal there. There's just so many things. Throughout the battle, I could not shake the feeling that all present were performing for the amusement of Fandaniel. Oh, which might also be why they had those figurines. That it's meant to be as though we're, like, playing into something else. That's interesting. Maybe they're kind of trying to cast him as something like a dungeon master or, like, a game master, which it could be intriguing, maybe. Nor did his blithe reaction to this latest defeat give me cause to think otherwise. I can only conclude that such failures are of little consequence to his broader scheme, whatever it may be. The Cartano Flats seem fated to play a prominent role in the history of the realm, do they not? I wonder, might the abundance of aether that floweth through the region have led the Allagans to entomb Omega there? I mean, maybe. Let's just connect it all, why not? Many though the enemy were, their numbers consisted largely of tempered beastmen, with a few lunar primals to keep things interesting. The Guardians themselves ventured little and lost less. It has ever been the Empire's way to have others fight their battles, but even they would blush at the Telophoroi's use of tempered slaves. I like that Estinian doesn't bother to turn around to face you to talk to you, but Alice does. I think that's very telling of characters. The tempered that we were able to treat will be taken to the city-states for observation. As soon as the Alliance is satisfied that they're fully recovered, they will be free to return home. At the close of the battle, when the clouds parted and the moon shone down on us all, I cannot well express how I felt. Alphino, me neither. I had to cry and sing about it for a good 15-20 minutes there in the middle. So if you need to do a little song break, if we need to like script a musical number, if we need to just let me know, because I got your back. I'm not very good at playing instruments, but I can like keep a beat with my hands. I'll clap or something. Somehow it seemed more a beginning than an end. I'm not ready to let go of all these babies. These good boys and girls, my chillins, and friends, and lovers, and allies. Professional, strictly professional. You should have seen my face when Lord Emmerich turned up on our doorstep. Did none of you think to send word he was bringing you home? Apparently not. I gotta be real, I was still so busy thinking about everything that's happened, I didn't even notice Baymerick standing over here. It was decent of Lord Emmerich to bear us home aboard his airship. The gods only know how he would have squeezed this many people onto the Bonanza. Hey, Baymerick, how's it going? Give us your story. Tell us what's going on. I trust you all enjoyed a comfortable flight aboard the pride of the Ishgardian fleet. Lest you worry, the Bonanza has been towed to a nearby location to be retrieved at your convenience. Star's like, good, I spent good money on it. Thanks. You have thought of everything, Lord Emmerich. And may I say how much I appreciated the hospitality you afforded us on the way home. Think nothing of it. Our destination lay in the same direction, and it afforded me the perfect opportunity to learn how my errant friend has been since last he took his leave. It would seem you have finally found a place to settle down. No, I merely grew weary of wandering the Far East. Returning to more serious matters, while the Telophoroi have been driven from Cartano, it is like that the bulk of their forces yet remain. On the evidence of the Grand Company of Eorzea's first joint military operation, however, I am confident that we have the potential to meet such threats head-on, even without the aid of you and yours. Valga's like, what am I supposed to do until November then? As such, while our forces keep the Telophoroi at bay, I would ask that you apply your talents to the task of neutralizing the towers. A sensible division of labor. While the towers remain, so too will the threat of the lunar primals. And given our expertise in the field of aetherology, we are better qualified to find the solution. That we are, especially should it happen to lie beyond the Alliance's dominion. There is a time and place for formal investigations, of course, but certain secrets are wont to hide where only enterprising individuals may venture. I could not agree more. There are none better suited to this task, nor any upon whom I would rather rely. Friendship squad! Everybody really do got that white silver hair, though. On behalf of the Alliance, I thank you. We look forward to receiving any information you are able to uncover. And with that, I must take my leave. Should you have need of assistance, pray do not hesitate to ask. Fare you well, my friends. Everybody's little, like, farewells are so cute. I confess, I had hoped to be able to study the towers more closely, vital as they plainly are to the Telophoroi's plans. If we can discern their ultimate function, we will be one step closer to understanding our enemy's grand scheme. Should we succeed in neutralizing them, of course, it is all but certain that the Telophoroi will mount an all-out invasion. And then it will begin. The one who awaits at the heart of the chaos will come for us. For you. Yet in the end, our true nemesis may be the calamity to end all calamities, the final days themselves. Yes, all right, Alphino. We need a plan, not portents. As Thancred so eloquently pointed out, we are in a position to seek information from all manner of places, not least Sharlayan. According to Kryl, the Form have been more secretive than ever of late. While this may be related to the appearance of the Telophoroi, that remains a matter of speculation. But one thing is clear. The Forum is determined to keep us from discovering the truth. Master Fortuno's performance at the Lotus Stand was enough to convince me of that. The matter beareth further investigation. I do heartily concur. Nor can I think of a more promising place to look for the answers we seek on the matter of the towers. Sholian hath ever been the wellspring of etherological knowledge. Really trying to put in my fake British bad accent that I do to the best of my abilities to the test with fantasy words here. Sholian hath ever been the wellspring of etherological knowledge. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I care not where we go. Here or there, my lunch will be ready. And what of you, Valka? Might you be persuaded to join us? Nah, I think I'll skip the next X-Pack. If it means I can go beat Fortuno's ass, yeah, I'm in it. I am in it. Oh, this is very tough because I feel like both the middle and the last are very much Valka energy. Very much. I'm going to just combine both here in a moment of choice. So, an island of bookworms and bureaucrats. Have we no other choice? Oh. If it means I can have words with Fortuno, though. Only after I do. If he and his friends in the Forum think we'll leave them alone if they ignore us, they're in for a shock. It appears we are in agreement. We have but to wait for Kryl to secure the necessary permissions. In the meantime, there is a matter I would investigate. Does it involve tall structures? By a strange coincidence, it does. At present, I have only a creeping suspicion, but with your help, I will soon find out whether my fears are warranted. Is this really how we're just gonna end it? This is just it? I thought we'd get like some little tantalizing cutscene. I thought we'd get some like little cutscene-y type deal that would be like, and here's the stinger for the next expansion. I mean, this is good too, and I like everybody's wrap-up, and there's obviously stuff that's gonna be happening, but we learned the emote shush. So we can shush everybody in the libraries of Sholian, obviously. There's gotta be. Okay, alright. Meanwhile, in the Garlean capital, I knew it. Here we go. Let's get ready. Oh, well, there he is. Reaper be reaping. Oh, dang, he got very good, very ridiculous, very over-the-top gun size, though. Love it. And new jacket. What? He's had more outfit changes than anybody else.
Are a stubborn bunch. Though I suppose you knew that already. My plan to redirect the ether from Cartano came to a rather less than satisfactory conclusion. It was, in many respects, an abject failure.
But is he also just playing a role here? Because he didn't seem to care that much that it was a failure in Cartano.
Which does, of course, raise the question of where we are going to procure the requisite amount.
So they need it for something.
Would be to draw on resources a little closer to home, though that would require our dreamer to dream a trifle more deeply.
A dreamer. Who's the one dreaming, though?
So be it. The dreamer will not complain.
Then let us begin the preparations at once. With the gateway of the gods complete, all that remains is to gather the necessary ether, and our prize shall be within reach.
The gateway of the gods. I mean, if we're considering Hydaelyn and Zodiark to be deities, but the 12 also. I mean, there's a possibility, and we do know that some of the stuff that's coming up with like the new 24-man and things like that will be based around the 12. Huh. Interesting. Okay, all right. There's a lot to break down and many lore casts around this. And the spiky Doomsday Tower, great. Again, love the decoration.
The time has come to fulfill your heart's desire. My desire! To relieve those wretched creatures of their meaningless existence!
Your desire? My desire? Zodiac, or is he referring to something else? Or is he talking over here to Wardrobe Change Boy? To Xenos?
While I await you, I shall drink a sea of souls and gorge myself upon the darkened moon.
Okay, Xenos, you do what you're gonna do, I guess.
Then you shall come to me, all roiling rage and rancor.
I mean, that's a cool shot.
And the stars shall bear witness to our final contest.
That shrieking in the distance, that doesn't sound good. Well, yet again, that cutscene does not really tell me anything or make me like either of them any better, or like find them more compelling in a sense, I guess. But there were some huge tantalizing things there with the Dreamer and with all sorts of other stuff, right? Like, there's some things. The Gateway to the Gods, also very interesting.
As I thought, the ethereal currents have been disturbed here too.
It was the same in Thanalan. Make that every location we surveyed.
Oh, that's not good. What's it doing?
And the strength of each current has diminished dramatically. Far more than could be attributed to a natural occurrence.
What tidings bringest thou from Dravania?
Dravania!
We took a number of readings, and noticed that the closer we were to the tower, the lower the etheric density became. In short...
Ooh. They're sucking in the
The
aether?
towers are drawing upon the land's ether.
Oh,
which
that's
would
not
explain
good.
how they were able to carry out the summonings.
Our allies must be informed of this. We should return to the Rising Stones and have Tataru relay our findings to them.
And if he didn't get the ethereal source that he needed from Cartano, is he just gonna, like, drain the entire land to power whatever is happening here with this, like, Dreamer or the portal?
Hear me.
Mom!
Hear me. Darkness comes. And with it, the end.
I'm getting big Heidelin vibes.
The fate of the star is in your hands.
The lady from the poster! Oh, she is very beautiful, though. But she really feels like Heidelin. I know there's been some discussion. There's like... This I did hear about, right? Because she was announced on, like, the poster and everything.
Everything all right back there?
A lot of people thinking she might be Vinat or, like, the heart of Heidelin or all sorts of different things. But the fact that she did start out with, like, hear me, kind of like the hear, see, think, feel. She has those little, like, twisting lights around it. Like, there's a lot of stuff there that does feel like she has to be connected to Heidelin, right? But it's been so long since Heidelin spoke to us. And I hope they don't just go the route of Heidelin being, like, not actually evil. You know, because Shadowbringers did such a great job with this idea that both in either extreme are bad, and so I don't just want to see Hydaelyn be like, hey, yo, what's up? It turns out I was good the whole time. At solemn dawn, grim purpose shines. Gazes cast towards the sky. Thus does our final curtain rise, your steps to guide what end betides. A new chapter of New Game Plus has been added onto the darkened moon. Blood Moon is ominous. Definitely ominous. Oh, I have so many things to think about. I have so many things to think about now. Oh, okay. All right. I need to get myself a big white bathrobe and do a Venat cosplay. That's the first thing that's on my mind right now. What does everybody else got? Those who are brought within close proximity of the towers are tempered into serving Garlemald, then forced to summon lunar primals with aether drawn from the land. But even having understood this, we are yet to uncover what the Telophoroi wish to achieve by all this. Are the towers purely for strategic advantage, or do they serve some other purpose? Whatever it is my father and the form are hiding, I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. Little tidbits for things that might be happening in next expansion. Not only do the members of the Forum intend to adhere to their long-standing policy of non-intervention, they made a point of sending Masterful Shino here to explicitly state that fact. Rather than simply refusing to involve themselves in our affairs, it would appear they are actively trying to prevent us from meddling in theirs. That does, of course, make Kryle's mission of securing our entry into Shalayan nigh on impossible, but I am confident that she will find a way, regardless. Being cool leaning against the wall, yeah, I got it, I understand. After the end of the Dragon Song War, I spent many a moon roaming. Kugane, Ratatan, even Garlemald, but never Shalayan. In all honesty, a nation populated entirely by bookish types like Alphino is not a place that appeals to me. I feel you. Valka feels you. I have received word that Arnvold is back at the frontistery. As much as I would like to visit him, I shall wait until there is good news to share. The last time we met, it was strange that he should be the one trying to cheer me up, in spite of everything that has befallen him. Still, I was glad for the chance to meet with him, and his words continue to be a source of encouragement. I have a feeling the journey to Shalayan is going to be quite the test of your nerves, in more ways than one. You'll miss this place while you're away, I just know it. But for now, the best thing you can do is get plenty of rest while we wait to hear from Kryle. When Arnvold tried to free the Amaljar held in the tower, it triggered some sort of alarm, and the captives were killed instantly. As such, we have no choice but to leave them in the clutches of the Telophoroi until a means of rescuing them has been found. In the meantime, the summonings of lunar primals will continue, just as we must rely on the Grand Company of Eorzea to put down such entities and prevent any further abductions. So too do they rely on us to come through with our investigation. I really thought we would be done with these towers by now. Like, really, I mean, until we started getting some of the trailers and things that kind of showed them and stuff like that, I thought, oh, these are just some sort of little mini thing that then is gonna kick off whatever, right? Like, we would have here in these final cutscenes, all the towers do their thing, and then they all meld into something, and then that goes, and the moon cracks open like an egg. Like, I thought we would see something like that, and then Endwalker would, like, start from there. So it's interesting to me that these towers are still such a big part of seemingly what's gonna be our opening for Endwalker. I don't know. Much and more have we discovered of Telophoroi's machinations since Thancred and I did return from Garlemald. Verily, their troops doth appear to have been tempered in much the same manner as those engaged in the construction of the towering edifice in the capital. Okay. Is that everybody? We get everybody? There's no more? Ephemi, you got anything for me? I have conveyed Lord Emeric's wishes to Coultenay and the others. For the present, their role will be to facilitate communication between our allies and gather information on our enemy. There's nobody else. Okay, that's really it. That's really it. That's the end of Shadowbringers. Well, we did it, everyone. Proud of you. Just walk on, my friends. Keep your heads high. Yep. I don't even know. I feel empty inside. I need the new expansion immediately. I don't even know what to do without it. But we have to wait until November, as we've discovered. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. There are so many things. And there are a lot of things that we will be talking about and have been talking about or already have touched on or discussed. With Aetheryte Radio, which is the Final Fantasy XIV podcast that I'm a part of with Gamer Escape. We also talk about all of this live while I'm over on Twitch, twitch.tv Bird of Chess. If you're curious about the podcast Aetheryte Radio, twitch.tv Gamer Escape will get you there on Saturdays. So if you are also formulating thoughts, feel free to come by while we're live sometime, chat with us. On my personal stream, usually we try to hold super mega spoilers for actual like spoilers labeled streams. Same kind of sometimes with Aetheryte Radio, although a lot of our talks recently have been sort of discussing some of the lore and all sorts of different content and all kinds of different things that we've gotten coming through Shadowbringers into 0.5. So, as a siren goes by. So, if you're curious, join us, keep the conversation going as well on Discord, which you can find all my links, all my connections, all my good stuff down below. But to those of you that have been taking this journey with us here on YouTube, thank you so much, whether you're new or old, whether you are somebody who just like stumbled across this video, or you're somebody who came over from stream or anywhere else that I've been on the internet. It's so great to get to do this and to get to play these. We started exclusively uploading a lot of these playthroughs here on YouTube because I didn't want to spoil people while we were live on Twitch, and this also helps me kind of like get through it, believe it or not, in a more concise manner than when I'm talking to everybody on stream. So, it's been great to get to do these fully voiced playthroughs, and I appreciate everybody's kind words. You know, if you shared a moment that you really liked, or you just, you know, had a good laugh with something silly, but then cried alongside with all the emotions, or anything else that's happened in the game. Really, it's been awesome to get to connect with so many people here too as we play through this story. And I cannot wait to play through Endwalker with all of you. I just can't believe that we're here. It feels like Shadowbringers was just released. It feels like Stormblood was just released and we were all locked behind Rauban Savage, you know? It's just been such a journey, but every step forward is better for having all of you by my side. So thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed Shadowbringers. Tell me what you thought. Tell me about your favorite moments. Tell me about moments that you're hoping to see. All that good stuff, because I would love to hear it, and I would love to share my own, and just we'll make a big, gigantic ball of feelings and discussions and thoughts and tinfoil hat theories and all sorts of things, because there's so much, and I know a lot of us are so excited. Anyway, we will keep doing other content here. We've got some other stuff in the works that's not going to be story-based, and we'll be delving into various topics and all kinds of things in Final Fantasy XIV that I can't wait to create in the next few months. So I'm looking forward to it with all of you. Like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill. I mean, if you want to, do it. If not, no worries. Just glad to have been with you for a little bit here in this big wide world. I'll see you all for our next voice playthrough in Endwalker, although I'm sure we'll have some other stuff that we'll be doing before then. We might even go back and visit some old cutscenes and do some voiceovers. Maybe we'll even do a whole playthrough of the game in the meantime on an alt character and do my best to voice it, and it'll only take us 20 years. We'll see. But whatever happens, I can't wait. Bye, everybody. Enjoy. See you in Endwalker. See you in our upcoming videos. See you on Twitch, Discord, social media, wherever you are. Just excited. And I can't wait to chat more.